Hey, Dulce. What's good? Let's see. How's everybody doing today? Sandwich sounds good. Grace, do you mind if I talk to people on screen? It's not gonna bother you. I'll be eating some snackage in a little bit. I gotta actually order some groceries. I'm thinking dates and Cheerios. I'm running low on food in general. I gotta re up on a few things. I don't really eat a huge, diverse culinary diet when I'm just soloing it. So long as I've got food made, I generally don't care so long as it's something that I like. And sandwiches are definitely one of my favorites. I'm really low on sandwich ingredients in general. That's one thing I gotta re up on. I've been doing a lot of tuna fish with extra mayonnaise plus tomato and Swiss cheese thrown in the air fryer so you get that melt on that Swiss cheese. Oh yeah. I only recently had dates. Like I actually only have discovered dates within like the last year ish, and I fucking love them. They have been a fantastic introduction addition to my regular everyday diet. So yeah, I haven't. I've I've got sardines as a backup actually. In fact, I'll prove it right now. Beechcliff is really the only brand I fuck with. Although there are some other good manufacturers. These are great. Can't go wrong. Um, in fact, they come in like different like liquids, right? This one is soybean oil. All right. Here's here's what we're just chatting about. Tech, video games, anime, music, etc. New to my stream? Oh, welcome. Welcome. Thank you for joining. What? Please let me know how did you find the stream? Because I'm always curious about where people are coming from. Because when you do the metrics, you discover that some people come from places more than others, and you can kind of like start to do personal analytics on like optimizing for, just in general. And one thing that I don't get is actual personal feedback from the viewers themselves, often on where they actually found me. So that would be interesting to know. India, wow, nice. Well, today's stream's not a coding stream, or at least not this stream right here. But I'm happy to talk about code. You can talk about some coding if you want to. Feel free to ask me any questions. We just chilling. I probably react to at least one video today. I'm gonna probably make something to eat for y'all. Probably have to make some more coffee here in a minute. What y'all got going on today? Talk, hit me up. I got this bad habit right here where I'm like standing in front of the in front of the chat, or behind it rather. Optimization of setup and all that other bullshit, you know, it's always a thing to, you know, work out over time. For some reason, my category is listed as entertainment. That's like so wrong. Nano, hello. My cat is up on the table. He's a good boy. Oh yeah, no, dude, I feel you. When I was in college, I really had no conceptualization of the breadth or the depth of what it was that I was getting into. And even still to this day, I'm kind of blown away by it, right? The fact of the matter is, not a lot's changed. And if you focus just on like good coding practices, is what I like to call them, then everything should work out in your favor. You know, if there's one thing that you can do to stand out above your classmates, your peers, it's to focus on, no matter what language you're working on, no matter what operating system, if you know it ain't right, it ain't right. If you focus on just making stuff work, you can always improve it. If you can't even get it to work, then shit out of luck. I'm trying to remember the name of this thing that I saw on Twitter the other day. I think it was done by someone who's like a compiler engineer or some shit at like fucking Epic Games. And he made like his own fork of like C or some shit. And it's supposed to be memory safe. And he's like going through and like compiling and like building software that was previously written in C with this new compiler. I forget what it's called though. But the side profile's not too bad. With the collar, you can't see how like fucking thin my neck is over here. Oh, that felt good. Oh yeah, no, dude. That's why I took it. That's why I took compiler writing when I was in college, and that led to a independent study that I not only got credit for but also got paid for. It was also my first experience working from home. I fucking loved it, and 10 out of 10 would do again. And you know, it was kind of setting the tone for the rest of my career. But yeah, I still think compilers and interpreters are very interesting. I was just saying to a friend that there was a point in college when I had this revelation. If you know one language well enough, you can write your own language in whatever language it is that you know best, right? And that's a powerful realization, because then you look for opportunities and chances to, like, maybe reduce your own workload, for instance. Like it, if it's a a lot of times I find that, like, new languages don't really offer anything new so much as, like, new ways to, like, compress the AST, basically. Like, Python's so cool because of how short your syntax can be, but, like, this comes at the expense of, like, if you were a human and you were to try and trace out, like, the AST of, like, some of the more complicated fucking comprehensions that you can do with the language. Uh, Anyone who actually knows what a list comprehension or a dictionary comprehension is in Python, um, that's what's up. So, as for the title of the stream, it has been 1 year. It has been 1 year since my grandmother's passed away. I'm still pretty fucked up about it. There's been a lot that there was just a lot that happened. You know, um, both leading up to her passing and since then. But at the same time, it also feels like time has really just it's come to an absolute, both simultaneously, a crawl, as well as moving way too fast that I can't keep up with it. It's like my mental muscles have been absolutely atrophied in the last couple of years. And I'm trying to, like, work out those muscles and get back to where I really need to be at. Try and find a way to recover something from all of that effort, from all of that time. For all of that, doing my best to be a good grandson while simultaneously protecting my own interest. And shouldn't have to be a choice between one or the other. Yeah, I expect that it's gonna be, that kind of thing where, many years later still impacts me. And it's really more like the cherry on top of a cake, like a big shit cake. Because mom died just about 4 years ago today. It's been a little bit more than that. And there was a lot of stuff that happened with her in particular. And I'm not real happy about how her ended. She wasn't supposed to die that way. You know, who do I hold responsible for that shit? There's a lot of lack of fulfillment or lack of wholeness that has occurred as a result of the events that have transpired. And every single day I'm trying to make myself more whole. And lately, what that's led to is a lot of Skyrim. I participated in this game jam recently, and I got something out there very rapidly, and I'm very happy to have proven to myself that I get things well enough that, given amount of time and just patience and focus, I can crank something out and still have a lot of time for other things. Which is great because I like this, and I want to keep doing it, and I want to keep making shit. The thing that sucks about like being a military kid growing up is that you're moved around a lot, right? So you don't really get a chance to like ground and like really grow your roots. Like there is some kind of truth to being connected with your environment, and this happens and is really true on a social level as well. Like one of the biggest reasons I was such a big fan of like the internet growing up was that I was able to keep up with my friends when I was moved from Virginia to Texas. Back then we used LiveJournal and America Online Instant Messenger, otherwise known as AIM. My cat just laid a stinky shit. God damn, it stinks. Holy fuck. That is a stinky fucking cat. Why is my shit under entertainment? This is supposed to be people and blogs. I don't know who's fucking pinging me over here. One of the things I fucking hate about Discord is you get the little fucking bloop. You get the fucking bloop. You get the bloop. You get the bloop. And it don't tell you where the fucking bloop come from. I hate that shit so goddamn much. Whoever thought that Discord was the answer needs to be thrown under a bus and then run the fuck over. I'm just saying, I'm speaking the truth. You know, they killed Jesus for speaking the truth as well. So, you know, if I disappear, rest assured that they got to me, because I ain't going away. Oh, that's an interesting question. You know, you have to consider the networks involved. You have to consider who knows who and how they know them. How did certain people get into the chat room? Where did they come from? I didn't invite a journalist into the chat, did you? Pete Hegseth? I'm just saying. You know, it's kind of a similar type situation. I got into a chat room because of a girl. And then that girl, without any, you know, further involvement, like, you know, kind of disappeared for a bit. And I ended up following other people to their, you know, chosen servers. And then I followed other people a second time from their servers to another server. And when she brought me on the first server, it was like, you know, that was someone, obviously, it's like you take someone somewhere and you say, okay, yeah, I'll go check it out. That's cool. And that's, you know, kind of like someone influencing you to get involved in something, right? But then from there, it's like I chose of my own volition to get involved in these other servers. So you don't remember about the Signal? I don't know where you were at when that shit happened, but there was a big ass scandal where National Security Advisor Mike Waltz mistakenly added Jeffrey Goldberg, editor-in-chief of The Atlantic, to the group chat. This led to the disclosure of classified information, including details about attack times, types of aircraft and missiles, and even the name of an active undercover CIA officer. I can actually get this up on on here. Hold on. Even the name of an active undercover CIA officer. The incident raised significant concerns about the security of communications within the government and the potential consequences of using an unclassified platform for sensitive discussions. Here's a more detailed breakdown. In March 2025, a group chat on Signal, including top U.S. national security officials, was used to discuss Operation Rough Rider, a planned military operation against the Houthis in Yemen. The leak: Mike Waltz, the national security advisor, mistakenly added Jeffrey Goldberg to the group chat, leading to the publication of sensitive details in the Atlantic. Pete Hegseth, Secretary of Defense, shared details about the timing of airstrikes, including the launch of fighter jets, bomb drop times, and missile launches. Pete Hegseth's response to this situation, too, was like, they're not war plans, they're attack plans. Not a good look. Not a good look at all. Naturally, there's going to be a lot of head games and sort of like any sort of intelligence kind of situation. Just kind of par for the course with military ops, right? Like, but at the same time, there is a level of professionalism that I think needs to be adhered to. That just because you got, slick back hair, doesn't mean that, you're not a fucking retard. Just a fact. So yeah, that happened. All right. Yeah, not only are we in the middle of one of the greatest advances in software technology of all time, it's also created one of the most disgusting gold rushes. And as a result, we are experiencing a greater and greater influx of what the kids are calling slop, right? How would you explain slop to a boomer? Garbage in, garbage out. TV rots your brain. So does AI. Some things never change. Real shit. Nah. You think the politicians can protect the internet? I don't know about that. In an ideal world, yeah. Well, we know the world ain't ideal. It's really not their fault. It's the corporation's fault. You have to look at this from the top down fashion in order to really see who's the root of all this, right? The internet was born by the military, grown by academia, and given cancer by the corporations. And now that the internet has cancer, a bunch of soccer moms who have become politicians, under the guise of protect the children, under the guise of terrorism prevention, we're experiencing a redo of the Patriot Act from a like let's beta test this over in this country first and see if that works over there and it's all good. As we know often, the laws do not always coincide with the will of the people, right? The law doesn't always at a spiritual level have a one-to-one correspondence with the intent of the law itself. People exploit shit all the time. Everyone's looking for workarounds. At the end of the day, less regulation is probably better than more. Because you have to afford, like, even if there's like a one-to-one correspondence between like unit of work created and then like unit of work inspected, like you have to have some level of creativity, some level of research, some chance to deviate and draw outside the lines, some chance to think differently and to like try and solve problems in a different way than like other people have done it, you know, for depending on like, you know, whatever trade or craft you're working in. At certain points in a trade or craft's history, there are like paradigm shifts in how things are done, right? We're experiencing one of those right now. We're in the middle of it and it's ongoing and nobody knows when it's going to stop. You know, people wouldn't be ordering shit like DoorDash if food delivery wasn't already a popular thing. Pizza companies had been delivering pizza without the help of a fucking app company for decades before that, right? Like, Terrence McKenna once said that attempting to change society from within was like trying to change out the parts on an aircraft carrier, or no, sorry, not an aircraft carrier, but an aircraft while it was mid-flight in the air. All right. I've been recording all of the fucking Skyrim shit that I've been doing because the intent is to just start dropping out clips and get some people to watch those and keep making progress on that and try to. I want to actually get through most of the game pretty soon, and so that's going to require some pretty heavy duty sessions. Because I got other stuff I'm going to have to do, and I don't know when I'm going to get a really solid chance to put this kind of time into anything again. So might as well take advantage of the opportunity, especially since last night I've had multiple streams where people collectively have watched the video live for literally hundreds of hours, and that's pretty great because those are knocking my numbers up, and I am trying to get monetized. So, glad that Skyrim is so popular and that people are interested in watching me play it without me talking, because I'm having fun doing it, and we're gonna keep on doing it. But I do think it is time for some food and chill, and I'll plan on going on later with Scrim after I do some local programming shits, and we'll go from there. So, thank y'all for joining. I'll see y'all again real soon. I gotta fucking eat.